Hey guys, Eden here, and in this video, we are talking about Nisekoi. And yeah, you probably understand by now, the anime I pick to talk about in these videos all come from the comment section down below. So, once again, please leave a comment down below with an anime you would like to see me review, talk about, I don't know, and hit the like button as well, because if this video hits 10,000 likes, I will make another video talking about season 2 of this anime. It only takes a few seconds to do, and it helps a lot. Seriously, I have bills to pay, so please just do it. And yeah, let's just jump into it. Alright, so as I said, I wanted to talk about Nisekoi because of it being recommended in the comment section below. And yes, that is abundantly true, but there's definitely a lot more to it than that. You see, Nisekoi is not your typical harem anime, as it's widely regarded as one of the unironic best harem anime to ever air on the godforsaken thing we call Japanese television. Seriously, what the fuck is going on here? Nisekoi has been something I've been eyeing for a very long time. You see, even on the surface, I felt like it was calling to me. I saw it in my dreams. You know, I even saw it in my nightmares. But in all seriousness, this anime is a little old, airing in January 2014. I started to get into anime and seasonal stuff around mid to late 2014, so Nisekoi was just something I kind of missed. Which kind of fucking sucks, because I know teenager KorewaEden would have absolutely loved partaking in the waifu wars that commenced as this manga was serialized. All the Ona doormat fans fighting all the Shoutout fans, that stuff was intense from what I've heard. I mean, a little bird may have told me that this anime's fan base was an anecdotal war zone. And oh baby, I would have enlisted into the cause. But all the while, I've been subjected to this anime's amazing OP, sung by the god of all incest anime, Claris, and even heard many of the ending songs out of context, some of which are even sung by my future wife, Kana Hanazawa. Please text me back. Another important thing to note, this silly little anime is animated by Shaft, one of the few animation studios I'm especially fond of. Not for Monogatari, what do you think I am, some kind of degenerate or something? Clarence, put the real champions on screen. Yes! Yes, baby, Hidamari Sketch is the GOAT. Madoka Magica is the GOAT. Anyways, this all led me to Nisekoi, an anime that's been on the tip of my taste buds for the longest time. I mean, I could smell it from a mile away. And I knew that now had to be the time I would dive into it. The second the anime starts, you're immediately reminded, holy shit, harem anime could actually, like, you know, look kinda good. Just seconds into this anime, I started salivating. The OST immediately puts you in a trance. The film grain, the black and white lack of dialogue, it immediately feels like I've been sucked into another world. Within seconds, Nisekoi has entranced me in its narrative, and while I mainly talk positively about anime on this channel, I mean, I would just like to quickly say, this is not easy to do. I have the attention span of a goldfish. You guys know me. I'm on that damn bird app all day tweeting out the most nonsensical shit. My attention span is shot. Whenever an anime can immediately hook me in within seconds, that's how I know I'm dealing with something possibly amazing, or at least something with a very competent director. And in all honesty, this little intro kind of reminded me of Madoka Magica's extremely compelling introduction as well. Sorry if it seems like I'm sucking studio shafts, well, you know, shaft a lot on this video, but that's really not going to go away no matter how much we keep watching. We'll get more into the production side of things as this video continues later on, but I do want to take the opportunity to explain the first few episodes, as they very clearly illustrate the anime's premise, which kind of obviously ties into its appeal, which is kind of what I'm trying to sell. I promise this isn't snake oil. And holy shit, this anime's premise is absolutely wild. Oh, what's that? You want me to tell you what the anime is actually about? Okay, fine. I will give you a plot synopsis if that is what you so desire. But there's actually a bomb about to go off right there in the top right corner. There's a bomb about to go off, and in order to defuse it, I have to explain what this anime is about before it hits 0 seconds. This bomb is actually in a children's hospital, so a lot of innocent kids are going to die if I don't explain this anime in time. Okay, fuck. Where do I even begin? Fuck. The boy with blue hair is our main character. The girl with the yellow hair and the red ribbon is the main female character. The girl with the brown hair is a childhood best friend of the main boy character, who is also the female main character. Blue hair boy is the son of the Yakuza. Blonde hair girl is the daughter of a gang. They have to pretend to be in love in order to stop an all-out war between the Yakuza and the gang from happening. But blue hair boy made a promise to the brown hair girl when they were kids. That's what the scene earlier was, that they would get married. But he doesn't know that it was actually her, and she doesn't know that it was actually him. And she actually likes him, but he doesn't know, and he actually likes her, but she doesn't know that either. And also the yellow one and the blue one don't actually like each other, but they're just pretending to love each other. It's a false love. It's a Nisekoi. Holy shit. And with the way I have described the anime up until this point, you may think that I am unveiling a masterpiece before you all. And to be honest, that's kind of a problem because having proper expectations is always important when it comes to these types of things. Like, my expectation going in was my friend Smug telling me, oh, you're gonna watch Nisekoi for a video? Wow, you're going to fucking hate watching that anime. And then he spit in my face. And then he proceeded to beat the shit out of me. So, you know, my expectations were low, but because I'm speaking so positively, you guys are going to go in with high expectations. You know what the fuck I mean? So I would just like to clearly illustrate what I believe to be the appeal of Nisekoi, just so there's no mistakes in communication, if you know what I mean. And the first thing I feel needs to be mentioned is that if you are looking for a serious romance anime, you need to look elsewhere. I don't know, go watch Clannad or something. But Nisekoi is not that type of romance, alright? It's for the silly boys filled with hearts of whimsy. The majority of Nisekoi goes like this. Major plot point happens, which causes two of the characters to grow very close. Then some bullshit happens, which makes them hate each other. Then two of the characters will grow very close, and some accidental miscommunication will cause them to not want to talk to each other anymore. It brings you in just to take you back out again. If you are going into this expecting some serious development, you are going to be pretty fucking upset. But you see, that's what I like about Nisekoi, is that it isn't realistic at fucking all. There may be down-to-earth moments where we get insight on the characters and get some reinforcing one-liners or just downright beautiful dialogue, but for the most part, it's just silly stacked on top of silly. And to be honest, as I grow older, I mean, I'm literally in my 20s, that's basically ancient in terms of the internet, I feel like whenever a romance anime is like actually realistic, I'm just sitting there alone in my room, all moldy, like damn, my life fucking sucks. Look at this guy getting pussy and I'm here not? Damn it. But whenever it's still a romance with a greater emphasis on being funny, I'm like, yeah, this shit is not like real life, and that is good. I want this romance anime to be an escape from real life. The more unrealistic it is, the better, I guess you could say. Obviously, stuff like that boils down to personal preference, but I just figured it would be important to add. Speaking of personal preference, however, which way are you going, Western man? Chitoge or Onodera? Interesting question. Why don't you answer it in the comment section? Alright, so through any rudimentary standard, I feel like most people would probably say Onodera is the better waifu. She's prettier, nicer, kinder, probably smells, you know, not horrible, which is something I really couldn't say about her counterpart. And honestly, she's just perfect in every single way. Literally voiced by Kana Hanazawa. Wake up, sheeple. But what's crazy about this anime girl is that it would seem as if the mangaka, you know, the author of the series, fucking hates her. I mean, she gets so little development compared to Chitoge. Once again, I've only seen the first season, so that could change as we get farther into the anime, but she is just so frequently sidelined to make more space for Chitoge. So even though Chitoge is an annoying bitchy bimbo, because she's like actually given the opportunity to develop and grow, she is infinitely better than Onodera. With Onodera, the potential is there, it was just never used. Chitoge, on the other hand, by the end of the first season, I was all on board. I was like, if Raku, this son of a bitch, does not want to marry you, I will. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, aside from the main character, Raku, you got like a few other characters. Seishiro is a tomboy, which as we all know is short for will never go out with you. Marika is annoying, which is short for, well, it's not short for anything actually, she's just really annoying and unlikable. Then you have Kino-based, super-based, epic Chad Lolly Rudy. She'll pop your balls for $5. And then there's this guy. He's a guy, look at him. That's all you need to know, he's a guy. Anyway, something that I noticed to be quite unique about Nisekoi as I was watching the first few episodes was there is basically zero fan service. I mean, all things considered, it's totally the type of anime you could recommend to one of your friends who's never watched anime before. It's got none of that, well, how do I say, weird stuff. Yeah, let's call it that. But you see, that's what I thought. That's what the little naive KorewaEden of the past believed. Let me take you to about 2 weeks ago. I just posted the interspecies reviewers video. It was doing pretty terrible, but I'm like, I've got to study for this computer science test, so I don't really have time to worry about stuff like that right now. So I'm sitting there studying dynamic memory allocation, and I'm doing the mallic, I'm doing the callic, I'm doing the reallic, but little did I know that soon I would be doing the phallic. Allow me to explain. I brought a USB stick with me, and on that USB stick were episodes 5, 6, and 7 of Nisekoi. I thought to myself, you know, maybe I'll need a little bit of a study break, so during that time, I'll watch a little bit of Nisekoi. And in peak comedic fashion, episode 5 of Nisekoi just happened to be the fan service pool episode. It's as if God was looking down from heaven and said, yes, today I will fuck you over for no reason in particular. So I quickly realized that I am in this crowded library watching a pool fan service episode. These anime girls are beginning to contort their bodies in ways that I don't think need explaining. Very sus, to say the least. The cameraman is starting to focus on some, well, you know, much more lewd elements of a woman's body. And it's already cringy enough that I'm watching anime in public, but a fan service episode? That was way too cringy even by my standards. But in all seriousness, I just moved to a seat where no one was behind me. Yeah, that was my story. Please upvote it on Reddit. But I feel like the pool episode is the perfect transition into talking about this anime's production, which is just simply a cut above the rest. In this fan servicey pool episode alone, there's tons of really wide shots where you can see the characters from head to toe, and absolutely no shortage of goofy low-res animation. You know, the actually important stuff. There's so many moments where they take what could be a normal dialogue scene and do something amazing, funny, or just flat out creative with the visual presentation that maintains your attention to the anime. The OST is constantly brimming with excitement in its tracks, spanning so many genres. There's just so much good going on here with the production of this series. You may forget the fact that the fan subs use the word retarded here. What? 2014 was a different time, guys. Let's chill out. But in peak Shaft fashion, part of this anime's production that cannot go without mentioning is its unique approach to ending songs. Similar to the Monogatari franchise, Nisekoi utilizes the ending song as a unique form of character expression by having the voice actors themselves sing an ending song dedicated to the character they play. In all forms possible, they are creating this elaborate and emotional exhibition of the characters themselves. And as a person who never really skips openings or endings, also known as an intellectual, I can't put into words how rewarding this feels, because so many anime just do nothing with their ending songs. They'll just pan over an image, play a song, and call it a day. But it just emphasizes the extra amount of love, passion, and time that was able to be put into the production of Nisekoi. But the one thing that stands out above all is the second ending, which is all about abstractly showing Raku through the perspective of Onodera. You start with the vague silhouette of Raku, how he stands out of the crowd. Then you go into the sequence of all sorts of sweets, which can obviously be taken as showing Onodera as a sweet girl. Pretty obvious thorough line, but you also find out much later in the anime that her family runs a bakery as well, which kind of confirms this to be a reflection of her reality. When you watch this ending song, you're watching Onodera's heart, her thoughts, how she views Raku, and so much more. Oh yeah, and it also just looks good, and it like sounds good, and I love it a lot, and I love Kana Hanazawa, and if you don't like it, I'm gonna take this giant rock and smash it over your head. Where's it going again? This anime teeters a very interesting line of sometimes doing the absolutely most unrealistic bullshit ever, and having some horrifyingly relatable moments as well. Take for example episode 18, where Onodera magically works up the courage to ask Raku for a kiss, and it just so turns out that he happened to fall asleep on her for a few seconds when she said that. Like, you really expect me to believe this shit? Like, you think I'm gonna sit here and take this? What's your name again? Naoshi Komi? Dog, you're walking on thin ice with that one. But then conversely, you have a scene that occurs a bit prior in episode 11, where Raku is alone with Onodera, and while attempting to ask her if she would like to spend her birthday with him, everything involving the promise, the transfer student, Shitoge, and his home swirls around in his mind, causing him to blurt out something about the promise 10 years ago instead. This scene is so brilliant because not only is it realistic in the sense that a Freudian slip when you're under a lot of pressure and have a lot on your mind is totally something that could happen, but it surprises Raku, Onodera, and the viewer all at once. I mean, I pooped my pants during this scene to say the very least. The least! I actually sharted. In short, what I'm saying is that while it is ridiculous, it has just the right enough amount of sincere moments and realistic dialogue sprinkled across that it doesn't just strike me as complete bullshit. Yes, it's incredibly silly, but even with that being the case, there's still something truly special here, and I feel like that dichotomy really plays into describing the anime as a whole. So, if you're looking for a romance anime that is, well, basically all of what I just described, then I would recommend you watch Nisekoi. Anyways, waifu tier list. Obviously, Chitoge is going in S tier. Onodera is going in A tier. Mari, I don't like you. You're going in C tier. Nuri can also go in S tier. I mean, what do you guys know expect? You know my type. The tomboy can go in A tier. Shu can sit in B tier too. Because even though he's a man, I mean, he was pretty funny. Put a little smile on my face. You know who else puts a smile on my face, however? Yes, that is right. It's the same people that got this video early. My patrons over at patreon.com/KorewaEden. So huge thanks to Alex, Brian, Colin, Dusk Seraphim, Everly 2, Amy Wright, Grishapa, Jacob, Jokum, Kamoy, Kona, Marquise, Megaton, Mental Penalty, Mirage, Noobside, Praise the Nerf, Huggy for 20, Robert, Rover Rote, Chicken, Super Fudge, Derp Cloud, Tuck Toad, Wild Guy, Zora, Capitan, and all my other patrons on patreon.com.